Green eggs and ham. Today, we're going to talk about a book called Green Eggs and Ham. This book is no ordinary book. It has sold over 200 million copies worldwide, been translated into 15 languages. Dr. Seuss made a bet with his friend that he could write this classic using only 50 words, and it became a legend in children's literature. One day, Sam came over with a plate of strange food. On the plate were green eggs and green ham. He asked another person, "Would you like to try?" The person frowned and said, "No, I do not like green eggs and ham." Sam didn't give up. He followed the person into a house. Holding up the plate, he asked, "Would you eat them in a house?" The person shook his head and said, "I would not eat them in a house." Sam asked again, "Would you eat them in a house with a mouse?" The person said, "I would not eat them in a house with a mouse." Sam continued asking, "Would you eat them in a box?" The person said, "I would not eat them in a box." Sam asked again, "Would you eat them in a box with a fox?" The person said, "I would not eat them in a box with a fox." Sam still didn't give up. He followed the person into a car and asked, "Would you eat them in a car?" The person said, "I would not eat them in a car." Sam asked again, "Would you eat them in a car with a goat?" The person said, "I would not eat them in a car with a goat." Sam kept asking, "Would you eat them in a tree?" The person said, "I would not eat them in a tree." Sam followed the person onto a train and asked, "Would you eat them on a train?" The person said, "I would not eat them on a train." Sam asked again, "Would you eat them in the dark?" The person said, "I would not eat them in the dark." Sam asked again, "Would you eat them on a boat?" The person said, "I would not eat them on a boat." The person finally couldn't take it anymore. He shouted, "Enough! If you let me be, I will try." Sam handed him the plate. The person picked up a fork, speared a piece of green egg, put it in his mouth, chewed, and suddenly his eyes went wide. He took another bite of ham, and a surprised look appeared on his face. He said loudly, "I like green eggs and ham. I like them in a house. I like them with a mouse. I like them in a box. I like them with a fox. I like them in a car. I like them with a goat. I like them in a tree. I like them on a train. I like them in the dark. I like them on a boat." It turns out, some things, you have to try to know how good they are. We always say no, no, no. But sometimes, the thing that makes us frown can bring us surprises. Dr. Seuss used 50 words to tell us, don't be so quick to say no. Give it a try first. Maybe you'll discover a whole new world.